Just like when I was talking about with the guy at the store, I treat people the way that I would treat myself as a baby. I treat people the way that my granny and my mother treated me. I treat people the way that I would treat my grandmother when she didn't have the use of her hands and I had to be her hands. And I had to help her in and out the shower, wash her body, dry her body, and put clothes on her body. Walk with her to the market, carry heavy bags of food and help her cook every Sunday. Rush over to her house every day after school. Every time I got on punishment, her house was the house that I was heading to. Even when I was on punishment, sometimes my dad would send me to my grandmother's house, not knowing that that's where I wanted to go. But I guess he knew that that's where I wanted to go because that's where I always go. So him sending me to my grandmother's house was like, getting a break from me misbehaving or doing whatever and, not being in his face because he would be mad. But I treat people with respect, even when I don't know you. Even when I know you're probably a disrespectful person and a person that don't deserve respect, I still give you respect. Why? Z. I ain't got no reason why. That's just a part of me. It's just who I am. I'm a well brought up man. I'd like to call myself a very strong, independent thinking, well mannered gentleman because it's how I was raised. It's how I was trained. I wasn't raised, I was trained. I was disciplined. I was cultivated. I learned wrong and then I learned right and then I did right from wrong. When you know right from wrong, you do better. Because when you do wrong and you know right from wrong, you feel guilty. You feel that sense of I could have done better, or I should have did better, or I should have did this, or I should have said this. And we get into arguments or we get into disagreements with people and we don't say what we really want to say and then we go back home and then we say, oh, we should have said this or we should have said that. And I told y'all, nah, whatever you said in that moment was what's supposed to be said. Because sometimes being naive is being closest to God. Letting yourself be let down even when you know, right, that you didn't want to get let down and you're not gonna lead yourself to get let down and you still, you know, that that naivety that's in our childish hearts that makes us susceptible to being kind instead of susceptible to being an asshole to somebody. So it's like second nature to be kind. It's like second nature to, say excuse me when somebody bumps into you. Somebody bumps into you, but you say excuse me because that's in your heart. That's in your nature. You're a kind person. You're not gonna see a line of ants crawling on the ground and then you're gonna drag your foot on the whole fucking line of ants and then kill the ants. You're gonna step over the ants. And you're probably gonna say, excuse me, little ant family, I ain't gonna step on y'all. Or if a bee or whatever, you know, you're not gonna you're not gonna be a jerk or an asshole. You're not gonna hinder that life from doing what that life is doing. You're not gonna stop that life from growing. You're gonna get out of the way. That's why when a lot of people say, you know, self sabotage, I don't believe in self sabotage. I believe in, you might do wrong by yourself, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're sabotaging yourself because whatever's for you is not gonna miss you. It'll stand there and wait there forever until you're ready to accept it. Anybody else that's doing anything else is just, I wouldn't say that it's similar to what you're doing, I would say you might have the blueprint and they're just copying off of what your foundation is. And that's fine. Because it's like music, we all need foundations to build off of. There's no there's no new way to beat the drum. So once you beat the drum, you beat the drum already. You just gotta find a rhythm